Welcome to OpenManage Network Manager version 5.3 installation. I will walk you through the installation process, so let's get started. Within your Dell OpenManage Network Manager 5.3 folder, search for and execute the Win Install EXE folder. Your installation of OpenManage Network Manager version 5.3 should begin installing. At the Welcome to Dell OpenManage Network Management screen, you can view the version and copyright information, and click Next. The next screen outlines minimum system requirements for OpenManage Network Manager. Make sure the server or VM you're installing OpenManage meets the minimum requirements listed on the screen before you proceed. If your system meets the requirements, you can click Next. You can read over the license agreement. If you agree with the terms, you can click Next to proceed with the installation. You can either use the default location to install OpenManage or specify your installation folder. Click Next to proceed. If you have multiple network interfaces, click the drop-down box and select the network interface you want to use for your OpenManage install. Click Next to proceed. For your heap settings, if you have a network of less than 100 devices, you can use the default settings. If you have a need to manage more than 100 devices, then you should refer to the user guide for heap size recommendations. Click Next. For your MySQL setup, you can use the default settings. If you want to change your data path location, you can choose your location to set up MySQL data. If you have a large network you are going to use to set up OpenManage, then I recommend referring to OpenManage 5.3 User's Guide for recommendations. Click Next to proceed. Now the installer will scan for port conflicts. If any port conflicts are found, you will be prompted after the port scan. On the pre-installation summary screen, take a look and make sure everything is correct before proceeding with OpenManage installation. If everything looks good, click Install to continue. Installation of Dell OpenManage Network Manager usually takes around 5 minutes to complete. This time varies depending on server sizing. Synergy Network Manager should automatically start and initialize. Once this is done, OpenManage Network Manager is now complete. You can click Done and close the installation window. Now that we have successfully installed OpenManage Network Manager 5.3, we want to go ahead and navigate to the lower right hand corner and make sure that our Synergy Network Manager is green, which signifies that it is up and running. Next, we want to mouse tip over the app server, which should be yellow initially. This signifies that it is initializing. Once it turns green, that means it is ready. It is worth noting that the app server could take up to 5 to 10 minutes to initialize, depending on how much memory CPU cores were allocated during the install. Now that the app server and Synergy Network Manager are both up and running, we can launch Dell OpenManage Network Manager by clicking Start, Dell OpenManage Applications, and then click the Dell OpenManage Network Manager. On the Dell OpenManage Network Manager homepage, enter your default screen name and password, which is admin. For security reasons, make sure you change this default authentication credentials. For your password reminder, enter in your question and answer, and go ahead and click Save to continue. This concludes Dell OpenManage Network Manager 5.3 installation. Be sure to check out our OpenManage Network Manager page at www.dell.com/network-manager for software download, documentation, and technical videos. You can also get additional information on our Tech Center site, which is del.ly/OMNM. Thank you for your time. Check back from time to time as we'll be adding additional videos. Thanks.